A lot of leaders have just got to get people to follow them. They've got a team of 5 or 10. But you're trying to get
38,000 people. No,
good number.
Yep.
What's the secret, man?
Well, getting out and about and talking to people, as you know, you do it very well as well. You've got to be out and about, you've got to be talking to people, because if you sit in your office and do nothing, it's very challenging. So you've got to actually have relationships with people. There's always some tools that we use in politics, is that if someone hasn't heard your name 5 times before they go and vote, then you haven't won them over.
Welcome to the Find Your Influence podcast. This episode, proudly sponsored by the Guinea Group of Companies, an organisation that helps leaders upgrade their mindset, upskill their leadership, and uplift their teams. If you would like the opportunity to sponsor an episode of our podcast, please reach out to the team at the Guinea Group, theguineagroup.com.au, the team at theguineagroup.com.au. Can't wait to hear from you. And if you would like to be a podcast guest, click on the information sheet that is available on the podcast page. Today we've got Minister William Butcher.
Shadow Minister. Previous role, Shadow.
X. Thank you so much. Oh, we're lucky we got him to correct me because...
people with expectations be so up here.
But that's okay. We can keep them up there. I still think he's our... So, mate, thanks for joining. I don't know how... I feel so lucky. I don't know how I get so many amazing humans to talk to me sometimes, right?
I've seen some of them. They're pretty impressive.
I know. And they all say, yes, Butcher.
Yeah.
Talk me through it.
Why not?
Well, mate, you've been part of that.
Well, you're a very attractive guy.
You know, straight up.
Follically challenged, like myself.
That's right. How could you say that?
I must say, I'm very impressed by the marketing.
Do you like the marketing?
Yeah, it's very impressive.
And believe it or not, team, for all your leadership and team requirements, you just
Guinea Group. That's right.
We're here.
Gladstone based.
We're here to say, I know, right? Global Gladstone based business. That's right. Now, Butchie, here's a big question for you. So we're doing influence. So the podcast is Find Your Influence. So how do you be influential? So one of the questions we ask is who influenced you, but even before we do that, what I'm really interested in, you could get people to vote for you.
That's great.
That's a big deal, man. A lot of leaders have just got to get people to follow them. They've got a team of 5 or 10. But you're trying to get
38,000 people to vote for me.
Good number. I guess at towns of communities, right?
Yeah.
What's the secret, man?
Well, getting out and about and talking to people, as you know, you do it very well as well. You've got to be out and about and you've got to be talking to people, because if you sit in your office and do nothing, it's very challenging. So you've got to actually have relationships with people. There's always some tools that we use in politics, is that if someone hasn't heard your name 5 times before they go and vote, then you haven't won them over. So whether that be through direct contact, what we call it, so just having a conversation with someone on the street or knocking on their door or giving them a phone call. Then you've got the marketing, then you've got the signs, and you've got the placards on the side of the road. Then you've got, so I've just gone back to the Gladstone cinemas. So if you're ever going to the Gladstone cinemas, anyone on the phone, you'll see my mug up there. We're trying to re-engage back, because there's a lot of people who have come to Gladstone from outside of Gladstone. So all that wave of New South Wales Victorians moving up on the back of COVID, landed in southeast Queensland and gone, what are we actually doing here? It's no better than where we've just come from, so let's go and have a look up north. And I said it would happen, and actually is now. So there was a big swing against us, against me personally in the last state election. There's a couple of factors with that, because obviously, you know, we changed a few things around in our leadership. Obviously, Anastasia Palaszczuk was Premier, and then Stephen Miles took over. Probably a little bit too late, unfortunately, for Stephen. He gave it everything he possibly could. Of course. We got a lot of ground back, but just wasn't enough on the day. But so you know, two influences in my role is to make sure that not only do I have influence to get the people to support me, but also have those influences on people in Gladstone, like, you know, our big industries, our big employers. Because part of my mantra is to make sure that, you know, I want people to have a job, I want them to have a roof over their head, and I want to make sure that they're comfortable living in this community. So a more livable city. So I've got to influence those people above me. So whether it be the port for things like East Shores, people might have just seen the opening of the East Shores, Auckland Hill, how good that is. And that was totally from influence. Well, I got a phone call one day randomly that there was some money available for some infrastructure to make local communities better. They said, what are your thoughts on it? I said, well, we have a fantastic East Shores.
Absolutely.
The most beautiful,
best ever
parklands, barbecue areas, and Auckland House. Sitting having a beer, looking at the big ships come through. But I said we need to fix Auckland Hill because every major town, Cairns and Townsville and all them have big lookouts and spectacular view. We had just an old little peaky thing at the end of it, and the cafe was old and run down. So we got in and spent $15 million, fixed that. It's now officially open. And so that's the sort of influence you need. And people don't sort of acknowledge it and see it, but at the end of the day, if there's people coming in off the Bruce Highway, coming into Gladstone, spending their money in Gladstone, staying a couple of nights, it's all worth it. That's what you've got to do. So
I love it.
It's good, really good.
Well done. And a massive shout out to Butchie for that end of the port for managing it. Ben Hayden was the project manager. And I text Ben as soon as it opened and I said, congrats, really cool. And just to give the port a wrap as well, as much as our politicians help us, how good's the port for doing that sort of work?
They've changed the face. When I first got the job 10 years ago, being the state member for Gladstone, it was a very livable city. It was still port city, big industry.
Did we not have East Shores 10 years ago?
No.
How?
So it came in probably about 8 years ago, Ross, 7 or 8 years ago. And it's just changed the whole outlook of Gladstone. So now it's set on top of the hill, totally changed Gladstone.
Absolutely.
And then, we've got down at Tanner, we've got the Esplanade that was done down there by the council.
How good was that?
Projects coming forward, like they're talking about the Harbour Arbour, so from the yacht club all the way up the hill, it'll be like the main street is now. So
what, up Gundoon Street?
Up Gundoon Street, yes.
Right,
so Cooper Mackenzie Marketing, give them a shout out.
Go, absolutely.
So basically from the bottom of the hill right up to Cooper Mackenzie's up there in the corner.
Geez, there's a bit of work to do there, but there's some spots along each side of the road.
It'd be nice to have some nice big multi-level buildings up there for people to live in, and then restaurants down the bottom, and change the CBD.
You heard it first.
There you go, Matt Burnett, Mayor of Gladstone.
Go, Matt.
Let's get
it done. Get it done. Now, thank you. We all love our little town. People sort of bag us and say we're industrial, but this is a good place.
It's a fantastic place. Born and bred here.
Yeah, I was going to say you and I played a little bit of rugby league together back in under 19 days.
We did, yeah.
For the fish, the fish.
Yeah,
you're still
part of my history.
Yeah, you're still wrapped up. We're going to get a Bronx shirt on.
I'm certainly a big Broncos supporter, but I love member Wallabies here in Gladstone.
Of course, Butchie.
I was chairman of Wallabies for 6 or 7 years. I went on to be chairman of the Gladstone Rugby League and sat on Central Queensland board of QRL.
Wow.
And I got a little
was
story.
Was that cool fun?
It was an amazing time in my life. But a lot, as they say about volunteering and trying to get people to help out, and was a lot. But if you have a look down at the Wallabies footy fields now, they've got the biggest junior base of any club in Gladstone. They've got a facility now down there that can, cater for functions, and great setup. And it's all come from sort of myself, Andrew Lockwood, Terry Hamilton, all the chairman of the Wallabies. Everyone's done a little bit of it once.
So
it's
good.
Game changing.
I was at an event the other day. This is a good public speaker down there. Did you notice that?
I heard that you were on the hunt.
Were you down there? Right, good. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll bring out my cert 4.
From when you were making
superintendent.
Good on you. Back in the day.
Yeah.
The lives we've had over time, Butchie.
So Broncos is my passion these days.
The Bronx.
I sort of don't do too much in the local footy, but
I love the Rabbitohs.
That's unfortunate. That's why I screen, I guess. But
this is people think I like Canberra.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, because I had something on the other day, and Joey and I were out. We were in Brisbane the other morning, and it's like 6 o'clock. We're out for an early morning walk, and I had a green singlet on, and a couple of drunken louts coming home. Go the right. And of course, me and Joey, yes,
that's right. Yeah, we're into it. So anyway, I'll take that away from you. Raiders supporter. If you're out there and you're a Brisbane Broncos fan, I've started up a Facebook group called the Brisbane Broncos Gladstone Supporters Group.
Yes.
So we're meeting this Sunday.
We're meeting.
It all depends
we
when
have
this
a
comes
meeting
up.
now.
We get together and we watch the like-minded Broncos all dressed up. We're heading to Central Lane Hotel this weekend. We've had about 4 or 5 different events, trying to move them around to different pubs and clubs to put back into the community and support them. And everyone turns up their Broncos gear, and we haven't lost a game since we've been having it. So big shout out. And I'm not sure when this is going up, but Broncos semi-final on the weekend. We're going to the Central Lane Hotel from 3 o'clock. Game kicks off at 4. Go morning Broncos.
Good luck there. I hope they have well this
absolutely.
weekend. Now that the rabbits are out.
Give them a chance.
Oh no, right. Mate, I love it. Too good, too much fun. Are we allowed to have this much? It's working now.
It's early, yeah, that's right. We've got plenty of time.
Exactly. Now, who influenced you, Butchie?
To be honest, in my life, it wasn't about who influenced me. It was about what was happening in the community that I love, that drove me to do what I do, to become a member. For those who remember, Liz Cunningham, a very good friend of mine, was a member for us for 21 years. Lovely person.
And Mayor?
She was a mayor of Calliope before they done the changeover. And unfortunately for Liz, being an independent member, governments don't usually support independent members too much. So Gladstone sort of suffered a fair bit under having a great member, but couldn't actually put any money back into Gladstone. And I was obviously fitter and turner by trade, started my trade at the Gladstone Power Station, then went to Queensland Loom, and I said to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, I finished my apprenticeship on Friday and I went out to the power station on the Monday, to a loom refinery on the Monday, and said, we'll do 12 months, and then after 12 months we'll go see the world, we'll see the world, and then we can come back after we settle down and start to have kids.
Famous last
So
words.
21 years later. We hadn't been too far other than Thailand for a wedding and Bali for one little visit. But our kids have all grown up now. So it was all about, what can I do? And as a trade union member as well, got into politics, joined the local Labor Party, joined the branch, and then after a few years later got given the gig as a candidate to run for Labor, and then that was 2012. That was the Unablia wipeout when Labor got flogged down to 7 people, 7 Labor members in Parliament. So then I ran again in 2015, and Liz retired, and I've been there ever since. So that was sort of the influence that actually drove me. So it wasn't someone who influenced me; it was the community's need.
I was going to say it was a need.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've done extremely well here in Gladstone. There's not one school that hasn't got a new building in it. If you drive around Gladstone now, Tallulah High School's got multi-million-dollar performing arts centre. You look at the State High School, who's got a nearly $40 million manual arts building, I call it, which is now open for the kids. So huge investment in education. We built new accident emergency at the hospital, nearly $60 million worth. And the hospital is certainly one hotspot that I've been fighting for. So we'll continue to do that. We bought the old MARTA, for those members, so we'll be moving birthing services and paediatrics there. So it'll be one of the only hospitals in Queensland or Australia, I think, that birthing mothers will have their own private suite.
Nice.
So that can only be done in Gladstone. So then that's because someone put their hand up and said we need to buy this, and that was me. So we need to do that stuff. And so we've got a lot of work to do on health, but we are improving.
Nice work.
But yeah, so that was the driver behind what I do. Not really an influence. There was obviously people along the way that influenced me. And I remember one guy, Greg Mills, who's now the manager of the Gladstone Power Station, who said to me at the time, his big advice for me was to surround yourself with good people. And I've done that everywhere I've gone. When I was in rugby league circles, I surrounded myself with good people. When I was superintendent at QL, I had fantastic supervisors that were very supportive of our moving forward in the industry. And now in my life as a politician, I've got fantastic staff that I love and they support me. When I was a minister, I had an office full of people who supported me in that role, and they were the best of the best. So it stuck. That support said, surround yourself with those good people, and in your life you'll be right, no matter if it's work or in your own personal life. So
It's good. Can I ask a huge favour? Can I give that positive feedback to Greg Mills and tell him that? Because a lot of people, especially like Greg, they go about their day to day. They don't realise sometimes the influence that they've had on other humans.
Absolutely.
And no one gives them the feedback, right?
Yeah.
No,
and he was a superintendent. He was a superintendent back in the day, which I then became. But he gave me that info when I was a supervisor.
And you still remember it?
I absolutely remember it. Yeah.
Big deal.
And I do remember the only other comment that I had when I was a young fellow was that people one of the tradesmen when I was at the power station said, I'm here to be your mentor and train you. He was a tradesman, I was an apprentice. And he said, you will always in your life remember the good tradespeople. You'll never ever remember the shit ones. Because you remember the good positive things in life when people help you along the way. Wow. And so when my young fellow Blake got his apprenticeship,
at the power station?
No, he got his at Orica.
Orica, right.
He was through the Glastonbury training group back in the day.
A2 Queensland now.
Yeah. And he got an apprenticeship as well as a fitter and turner. So now he's off travelling around the countryside making more money for his
I know, right?
You know, so these kids these days. But I said the same thing to him. When you the first day you went to work, listen to the good tradesmen. They're there for a reason. You'll get way more out of them than you will of some person who doesn't really want to train you, help you and mentor you. So, and it works. So he's got a very successful job now. My daughter's much the same. She's got their own business, Oakcrest Electrical. Shameless plug for them.
Is Oakcrest your?
Yeah, Taylor and Matt Druitt.
No,
son-in-law.
I didn't know
Matt
that.
Druitt's grandfather was the big manager in the Druitt Centre out at Queensland Luna.
I was going to say. And
Yeah.
have you been up there? Have you been up to the Druitt Training Centre?
Yeah. Well, it was there when I was out there. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, they've got all the photos now of every year
apprentices.
And I did my apprenticeship.
There you go.
So we're up there in 1990.
Well, there you go.
Another name you know is Sean Corson.
I do know Corson. He's
Sean
a very good mate of mine and
great lad.
And good mates with Wayne. They went and played rugby league together down at East End Brisbane.
That's right. Of course, I hurt his neck.
That's right.
Shit. Small world, mate.
It is a small world.
I tell you, if there's one, and of course, you'll have a soft spot for NRG because that's where you first went, right? And I've got a bit of a soft spot for QAL, you know, so we can see it from here too. And Trent, we can say, and it's a big shout out to Trent. Well, no, seriously, Trent and I are always in contact, and Trent's given us some good work, so I really value Trent. And I was really going to say, we occasionally get to smell it as well, which is okay. I don't mind.
I still can't smell it.
No, I don't mind.
It's entrenched in me now. And
You burnt those days.
a lot of those days have changed. I can remember when I first went out there, it was just,
I remember
blowouts everywhere, stuff going on. They have changed that industry so much, and hardly any blowouts. And
a shout out to some of the leadership team, because I know some of the people that were involved in those projects. Oh, here's a shout out to QAL. Oh, excuse me. Here's a shout out to QAL. Oh no. Oh, there it is. There it is. All of the 5 YES projects.
There you go.
Massive shout out to QAL, Trent.
I think they spent about $120 million or something on that. Yeah.
Look at the projects that they did over time.
A lot of this stuff, I didn't see this before. This is probably a lot of stuff that I was.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Right. But how cool? How cool?
It is
and what I love about what QAL does is they're leaving a legacy. Do you know what? And I'm going to give Trent a shout out now too. Trent did a talk, and he did an opening at a leadership program that we did, and he talked about like the vision out to 2060.
Yep.
QAL's got like this 2062 vision or something like that.
I think they're 55.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that'll make them nearly 100 years old by the time.
For an aluminum primary, that's absolutely amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And I still use Trent's talk as the role model or the script for getting people on board and leadership. So,
and they've certainly changed the leadership. I remember back when I was out there was a bad manager, a good manager, a bad manager. So the good manager get all the maintenance on track. Yeah, the general manager.
Right.
Yeah, so they get something with the good one, you get it on track and everyone will be happy, then they bring in someone and stop that.
That's right. We're spending too
cut
much.
costs, let's get everything off you go.
Oh, then you got to rebuild again.
That's right, correct. So anyway, they've changed all that, which is good.
Those are the mate.
Big employer, across
absolutely
across the Rio Tinto group here in Gladstone, over 3,500 people directly.
Is that right? 3,500 directly. And what I love is, if ever I get someone to town butcher, or believe it or not, I don't take them to Auckland Hill first. I take them to QAL first. Because no one sees industry, no one gets that view. Like you fly over it, but when you stand there looking at the immensity of this thing, it's freaking
especially the night. I remember the first time I went there when we first moved back to Gladstone with my parents, and we drove up on top of the hill, and all these green lights, and Wayne and I were going, wow, look at those green lights, that's awesome. And said to my dad, I said, what's all those green lights? And he said, that's when you're covered in caustic soda and your skin's melting off your body. You're going to go running on and have to wash it all off. But they don't, there's hardly any of those incidents.
And do you know why they're green though?
No.
Oh.
Anton Guinea green?
No, that's right. Yeah, because we influenced them. Because did you know that if you've got caustic in your eye, green is the last colour you see.
Right.
Every other colour goes, but you can still see green.
There you go.
Mate, go to green.
This guy knows a lot about workplaces.
I know a lot about green. And workplace health and safety.
Yeah, so that was one experience. And because everyone used to call it the fairy city. Because all the bright lights and the green and flickering and what's going on with the fairy city. And so we went out and then it soon changed when Dad said, you're going to go and jump under a shower.
That's right. If you get hurt.
If you get hurt, yeah.
Psychological safety, big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, and I always say there's a legal side of looking after humans, but I think there's a moral side where the leadership comes in.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, I did a video last night, just a 1 minute, to say physical safety, to me, can't exist without psychological safety. If people can't speak up and say, oh, I'm worried, I'm scared, it's not right,
absolutely.
I think we've got an issue.
Well, the old saying, whatever you walk past is what you accept.
Spoken like a true leader. So standards, butchy standards.
And it's true.
Absolutely.
And especially in this game, like we got changes. Like when you're in the workplace, it's about that sort of workplace safety and all this. So we have, in this game, people on fixated people's register. And
I'm intrigued by that. Can we really talk about that in public, advisor?
Absolutely.
So, what team? I've got to tell you, talking about psych safety, we're not giving Butchie this book. You're not allowed to have it, you're not joking. So, talk about psych safety. The one thing that intrigued me when I spoke to Butchie last, these guys and gals get like people fixated on it, and there's got to be a register of, it's called the
fixated persons register. So we've got several people on that at the moment, and we've had several people on it before. Basically, the whole time I've been a politician, there's people out there. And when we do our training to become a politician, they actually train you to don't drive the same way home every day. All the security stuff you've got to have on your property, cameras and safe, fences, fencing, all that sort of stuff, just to make sure. Because there's been incidences before of people turning up at people's houses in the middle of the night, knocking on the door, and all this sort of stuff. So
has that ever happened, Butchie?
Not at my place, no. Well, I'm a little bit.
But everyone knows where your place is.
On the Christmas slide.
Yeah, I know. Everyone knows what house yours. I know what house yours is.
I know, right? So, but yeah, I'm a little different. Obviously, I played rugby league. My family was coming to my place. Good luck,
Right.
Yeah, look out.
You give them a whop on the nose.
Well,
or something.
that's. But we have a lot of people who have been, some really serious stuff happen to them, to their officers in the past.
What, politicians, you mean?
Yeah, we've had people take a dump in the front office of their political office, and
horrible humans around
just stuff like even recently as yesterday, some person thought it was wise to come and put a big sticker on the front accusing police of being corrupt and all sorts of different things
on
your front of our building.
No.
So just all those persons, but unfortunately for this individual, that
did he catch it on the video camera? He looked up the video camera. No.
So yeah, we know who it is, but anyway, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt to do the right thing. But anyway, so a lot of that happens. So that you get fixated people. I've had females on fixated before, just doing all sorts of silly stuff on social media, particularly. It's one of the things I ran through an election 2 elections ago, and there was hackers and all these trolls putting up stuff about me and my brother, and and it was just relentless, and it was just terrible. I was calling both of us drug dealers and calling my brother a corrupt copper and all this sort of stuff, and it just went on and on and on. And it's so hard to find how to stop that.
Did you find how to stop it?
No.
We still don't know who
we
it
went
was.
through to the cyber bullying group. We went through to all this stuff, and
still don't know who it was.
They just disappear. So once they get
because they change their
profile,
profile,
just delete their profile and all things.
Oh my gosh!
So it's a challenge in this line of business, and obviously we're seeing a lot more of it at the minute with a few things going on around, not only in the world but locally, a few places that people
globally
Stay strong. What happens is a lot of people that have these fixated issues. That's their whole life. There might be one thing on that, and it's my fault. They'll blame it. They want to blame someone, and generally it's just a politician. So I know Colin Boyce has got a few on the same sort of fixated persons type thing. So it happens, but you just get on with it, and I don't let that stop you at all.
No, of course not.
What they are saying, water off a duck's back. You just get on with it. I'd rather support 38,000 people than one person that's fixated on me with an issue. So, we deal with my office staff. I don't know how they do it sometimes because I do still travel around a bit. Yeah. They cop a fair bit of people walking in and giving you their issues. And
nothing they can't handle.
No, they do an extremely good job in my office.
And training?
Yeah, we get training. Paris is just, she's new in my office and just over 6 months in there now.
Oh, Paris, good on you. Good on you, good job. You put up with him for that.
So, we get the training. And it's all about when they come in the office really angry, because people are angry.
Of course.
Of course. And we get a lot of people with mental health come into our office as well. And so girls deal with that very well, de-escalate, sort them out, try and get them the help they need.
Nice.
So it is a part of the job, but I don't worry about it. I just get on with it and just keep going.
Like you say, 38,000 good people, one average human or two.
Absolutely. Yep.
And just a shout out, Butchie, to our amazing advisors and support
Absolutely.
staff.
Yep.
Butchie and I wouldn't be able to do what we do without the amazing humans around us, and I think sometimes they're probably the silent achievers, unsung heroes. Mm-hmm. So a massive shout out to them. So.
We'll introduce Paris.
We will. we want to
come on in.
Come in, Paris. Come and say hello, Paris. Team, this is the amazing Paris in Butchie's office. It's a quick wave from Paris. Paris, very very quickly. Quote. What do you live by? What's the biggest mission for you on the planet? What's life mean? Or what's important to you?
I'm very big on just. You don't need to voice every opinion that you have. You don't need to make everyone happy. You don't need to
upset
just
everyone.
Do your own thing. Just live by.
Stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay in your own lane.
There you go. She might be the next member one day when I retire. You never know.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking the next podcast.
Oh, the next podcast. We should get a whole heap of our office managers and staff around to do a large podcast.
Oh, a group?
Yeah.
Can we organise that shit?
We should help.
Right, no. That's next.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. You heard it first here again. How good, thank you, Paris. So what's your influence, mate? Just back to that. Who are you most proud of? Obviously kids, but is there, when you look back on your career, so you're a tradesperson, you trained apprentices, you ended up as a superintendent, so you were leading the leaders, which I always say is a tough gig, leading supervisors, because they're cantankerous. Most of them are from the 1900s, like you and I, who probably haven't quite evolved, who are still a little bit hardcore. Is there someone that you're most proud of, that you've had influence on, where you look back and you go, holy dooly, that was a really big deal for me? Or maybe it's someone more recent.
Oh no, there's certainly there's two lives of mine. There's obviously my industrial working life, and there's obviously my local member and minister
life.
Influence that I'm pretty proud of, and obviously one in QAL was a young supervisor that was coming through, filling in, trying to make his mark, and I had to go through and. It was turning around where it was with the LNG, and this young gentleman was trying to make a decision whether he left QL and go and get the golden egg for a few years. And I made sure that I sat down with him and had that conversation. I actually done a spreadsheet for him and showed him how much money he would make being on the island compared to a leadership role in the future, growth, and run it through him and sat down and sort of by the end of it he went, shit, I get it. That's thank you for that, and he stayed and he became a supervisor. So, those are if you're not putting that sort of information out in front of people, because people go all over the place, and say that one day I want to be this and one day I want to be that, and all of a sudden now I want to be a supervisor. But heading over to the island, which was great for Gladstone and those people, but long term, if you've got Queensland Lumen on a thing when you go to the bank. And you've been there for 10 years, you can borrow whatever you want. Banks are great because they love people who stay in one place and are growing through. So, he from that he went on and built a house and started a family.
Still out there?
Yeah, I think he is. I won't say his name because it might embarrass him. But now I think he's on shift maintenance supervisor and continuing his growth. So
congrats, man.
Pretty cool.
You know what I love about that story? Like for you, the way you summed that up is you said you've got to give people info. Well, I think it's deeper than that. I think you've got to give people time.
Yep.
I
agree.
You put time into that person.
Absolutely.
You know, like they would have taken you a bit of effort to put that together. And then...
10:03 a.m.
Oh shit, all
No,
right.
that's just me touching.
Is that a hard stop?
No.
No?
I'm here all day.
Oh, good. Right, 5 o'clock. Right, cool. But I love...
So then I guess the other one is in my political career. I had it was a really random story. I was at a function at the university down here at Central Queensland University, and this lady came up with her daughter, and her daughter was about 17 or 18, I think she was at the time. And this is, I'll mention this when
Of course.
Aisha, and her mum said to me, "Do you ever put on students in the holidays to come and see what you do and what that means?" And I said, "Well, I don't. I didn't at the time." And I said, "But
good idea.
More than open to if she wanted to come and spend a week or two in the office and see what happens." And so we ended up getting her in, and she was fantastic. And then she'd done really well at school. Then she would come back during her time off when she was going to university.
Wow.
And she was trained to be a lawyer, and all that time I was engaged with her. We built a very close bond and relationship. She was fantastic. Nice. And when I became a minister, assistant minister to Jackie Tradie, lovely Jackie, if you're watching Kins's podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's hope she is.
That
she'll be another guest.
I was given a position as an assistant in my assistant ministerial role, and I reached out to her and I said, "Are you interested while you're finishing your university degree? You want to come in and help me out in my new role?" And she did, and then she grew in that role, and then when I became minister, she worked in my ministerial office, and then so she was growing at the same time, and I didn't know all this in the background with what was happening with her at the time, but I ended up going to her wedding in Canberra because her and her partner ended up down there, and it was really weird because I didn't know, but at that time she was really looking for help mentally. She was going through a very tough time, didn't know what she wanted to do with her life, didn't know if she wanted to work, didn't know if she wanted to go to university, and was like really, really struggling. And it was so good to hear from her mum and her dad that her way forward was to work in my office and getting that start, and it was so cool. And now she's got a little baby and married, got a little baby, and is working in a high level job at for one of the Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander groups and departments, and so just changed her life. And I didn't know it. So as a leader, you might think you're just giving someone a go, but at the end of the day, you actually change someone's life and set them on a path that they succeeded in. So when I heard that at the wedding, and they even called me out at the wedding, her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Cindy, I was blown away, and it was just so nice to be part of that and their family, and
that's a story.
Yeah, it was good. And now I see them all the time. They get amazing people, her parents, and they give light. I don't know if you've ever seen them at the markets.
No.
Yeah, so it's giving light and energy, and
Mrs. Cindy, they bless you too.
Well, it's not a blessing. It is a religious thing, but it's more about just giving natural sort of energy, and they do it. If you walk past the markets in Glasgow, you might see Mr. Sidhu giving this energy to people, and it is life changing for people. So they're still trying to get me to do it, but I haven't had time or place. I could imagine being a state member sitting in markets and hundreds of people. It's all
about the optics.
That's right. So yeah, so that's the influence you can have on someone without even knowing it. But just if you've got it in you, and that's how you just treat everyone that works for you or is involved with you, if you care, you can change lives without even knowing it.
Massive deal. Thanks for sharing.
That's good.
Great story. Can I share a quick antidote? Have you ever done media training? Did you do all that?
We did media training when I first became a local member back in 10 years ago now. Right. But it was very simple. It was simple. What they did was sit you in front of someone like you today, and they give you 2 scenarios.
Right.
And they said to me, Glenn, what's your scenario? And we were going through at the time was the dredging in the harbour, and you know how they're killing the fish and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so what they did on the back of that was say, we're going to interview you with a young journalist, as a young journalist, happy as Larry, wants a positive, wants a nice story, and hit you with a heap of questions. So these people who are doing the training, like, so Glenn, the fish in the Gladstone Harbour, it's traditionally a beautiful harbour. You catch nice fish. Is that? And then they say answer like, of course it is. I could do an interview with anyone. And then they brought on a guy, I can remember, it was a newsreader, Pat Condren. So he was with Channel 7, so he was doing some of this training and marketing stuff. And then he came and sat down and went, why do you hate fish? You're killing them and I'm like, and then it just kept coming, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Really?
And then on the back of that, they film you and replay it, and they say,
what do you think you did well?
Yeah, if you've got a good thing you did, and I said, I don't think I did
anything well.
This was just straight in my face, and
You want to punch him,
and he was just relentless, and it's like, Pat Condren, and he. On the back of them, they tell you what you should have said and how you do react to that sort of questioning, and if you've got a point, and just keep deflecting off the point without going to water.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, right. so a little bit of training, but you learn on the run, and it's the whole market for media has changed in Central Queensland. When I first got in, if we called press conference, you'd have the Wind would turn up. 7 would turn up, the local paper, the Observer would turn up, the radio stations would turn up. Now, we've only got one.
So no one turns up anymore.
We've got 4CC, who's the only local media outlet. So basically, it's pretty unfair for anyone who really wants to run against an independent, a current member of Parliament, because we can do a video of an issue that we've got and what we want to say, and we ask ourselves the questions. And we send it off to the media market, and they just grab it and play all your reels. So you own the market. Like, it's changed.
How's that?
So you don't have any of that hard hitting stuff anymore. Sometimes, when you get to Brisbane, obviously it's different. Or if I'm doing something, Shadow Police or Corrective Services or sport.
Of course.
Anywhere here, you can sort of make your own market. And I can, I do with the local papers and the local magazines that are out there, and just tell them our story and what like it. And there's no real.
There's no
what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing about?
No,
so the whole market has changed because Observer left. Now it's digital, and no one wants to pay for the digital subscription to the Observer. Channel 7 left Gladstone, based themselves in Rocky. Wind done the same before that, and so you just got to make do with what you do, and you change the way you do things, and that's what I've done.
Occasionally, when I'm doing training, someone asks me about it, and someone asks about getting tough questions as a leader, and I say, just be a politician. I say, just be like, and I say this with love. I say, now, just be like Butchie, and I said, I'm gonna do Butchie for you right now.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you've done it, so I just use you because everyone knows you, right?
Yeah.
And I go, right, ask me a very hard, I said, now here's the background. I say, so my mission is hydrogen. So I'm going to get hydrogen in Gladstone. So I said, in here, you'll have an issue that you're going to ask me about. And I'll say, think about your issue, ask me the toughest question you've got, and someone will come up and say, Anton, homelessness is so bad in Gladstone. And I'll go, I agree, it is. And you know what? I think hydrogen is the answer. I said, and you always come back to deflecting.
What you're talking about.
And people it blows people's mind. Oh, can you do that? I said, why don't you? I said, good politicians do.
It's changed a little bit from there too. Now they just go, I've already answered that.
Oh, really?
I've already answered that.
Oh, they just say it's just the.
I've already answered that.
Talk to the hand.
I've already answered it.
I like that.
Not that I know.
That sounds a bit like a football. Desi Hasler, he'd say something like that. I've already answered that.
Yeah.
Go, Des.
I'm not going there today.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm here to talk about hydrogen, not about housing.
That's right. Exactly. Easy peasy. Now, 2 big questions. You've been a leader for a long time. What's your leader? Same question that I asked April?
Paris.
Why have we got April in my head?
April in Paris, maybe. I don't know. You're going somewhere?
No. We're going to England this week, but we're not going all the way to Paris. But very romantic place, I tell you. So, I asked Paris that question before and it didn't land because Paris was like, blah. But for you, you've probably thought about this. What's your leadership mantra? Like, what do you stand by? What's the mission?
Well, I don't see anyone any different than me. And I believe that anyone can do any job. So in my role, I left a power station to go to a alumina refinery.
Yeah.
And I've seen leaders and I've seen the superintendents and I've seen the manager and I've seen the general manager, and I thought, I watch what they're doing. I can do that.
They're just humans.
They're just humans. And when you actually meet a lot of these people, I've met, and as you
Of
have,
course.
high level people.
Absolutely.
And you actually have a chat with them. They're no different to me and you.
They're not.
That's just what they do and what they know.
Different job.
And the job they've got. So my mantra to all people and my beliefs are that, I treat people that way. Like, I don't expect them to know what I do today, but I try and help them to get an understanding of what I do as I go forward, to get an understanding of what my role is. And that's when I said before about Paris taking over from me. I'm doing that with several people around Gladstone because I want legacy to do what the success that we've had in Gladstone for 10 years. You can't just give that away by just giving up and saying, well, I hope someone good fills the role.
That's right.
And I'll be over here, in my caravan driving around Australia.
You've got to own it.
You want to make sure that you have legacy. You want to make sure that the leadership style that you have is what comes after you, because it works. And if it works, why would you change it?
That's a big deal.
So I treat no one any different. As I said, I can go and talk to the most lowest socioeconomic person you could possibly find and have a conversation. Or Anthony Albanese could walk in my office this afternoon and we'd have a chat.
We'd have a professional conversation.
It'd be no different.
That's where words.
Yeah, that's right. Or whatever. Yeah, different levels of people, and you've got to change. Your personality to do that.
100%.
Like, you can't be the stuck-up politician talking to elbow when talking to someone who's got an issue with you about housing or the way the hospital is. You've actually got to be compassionate. You've got to show that you care about exactly what they want to talk to you about, and talk. And talk,
and be a human,
not just fold them off or whatever. Actually have a conversation.
And just another what do they call when you just do a shout out? Like when it's like
self-promotion.
That's right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much. What Butchie's talking about there, team, is the adaptability of your communication style. Everyone's got a different style.
Yep.
But it's how you adapt to their style. You can change your style. Some people are very dominant, as you saw by mine. This is disc profiling for anyone that wants to reach out and get their disc profile done with TGG. Reach out. You can see I'm a high I, which means I need humans. If I don't have you, talked about a spreadsheet before. I thought I was gonna choke, and because I don't do detail, so whereas I just do humans. So,
that's right. That's right.
So Deb, thank God, I've got a Deb who does all the detail for us.
Correct. And I had to change the way that I interact when I came in here today.
Oh, stop it! No. You're the same all the time. You don't change
pretty similar.
That's right. Absolutely, you'd be a high I in this profile. Last question, mate. Now this is a big one, and I think we've answered this one already. Who's next? Who would you recommend? Who's the next human / I think we do a group. I'd love to do a group facilitated podcast.
Absolutely.
But what's one name first? Who would you recommend? Is there someone senior that you
take over from me?
No. To get on the podcast next.
Oh, the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
No, we'll get the group thing. I can arrange that. But
what about Stephen Mills? Would you recommend or not really?
Greg Mills.
Greg Mills? No. Stephen Miles.
Stephen Miles.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd be up for it.
Would he come on?
He would.
Because I'd love to talk to Stephen Miles.
Leave that up to me.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
An intro?
And he, for those who don't know Stephen Miles, he is a very introverted person.
No.
So when you talk about this sort of stuff, and you see what he does on social media and the way that he presents in front of the camera, and meeting people, in
COVID,
and the work that he done there.
Tab.
If you actually get to meet the guy, he's very introverted person.
Quite not like you and I.
Well, he can be.
So if we could bring him up,
absolutely. He'd be up for a conversation like we're having today. Nice. He would speak very, very well.
He was over here during COVID.
But he's an unassuming guy. He just wants very smart and articulate.
Of course.
But if he could have a choice to go and have a quiet feed over here while he's got 5 minutes, he would. You know,
Right, they just get away from
but then
it.
get up and go back and do everything.
Do it again.
And you go, no, he's a great guy. He's out and about. Everyone knows him.
Crazy, yeah.
But he would love to have 5 minutes to himself. Just, yeah,
He's a bit of introversion.
And for those people out there, he is a fantastic guy and a fantastic leader. And I'm hopeful that he'll be the next leader here in Queensland as the next Premier coming up.
And you heard it
2028.
You heard it first here, team. And hopefully Butchie and Stephen Miles will be happy to...
Yeah, we could do something. Because you're always down in Brisbane too.
All
We
the
could
time.
do something, sitting week or something maybe. Bring your camera and get him in his office.
Stop it. Butchie, I'm excited already. Thank you so much, bro.
Anytime, mate.
Love your
Anytime.
work, mate.
Hey, he's a good guy.
Thanks for listening. We just had an amazing guest on to another amazing podcast of Find Your Influence. My name's Anton Guinea, and for 20 years I have been sitting, working with, training, coaching and consulting leaders at all levels of organisations. I've coached Gen Z leaders right through to baby boomer leaders. I've done 1,500 one-on-one leadership coaching sessions. My mission on this planet is to help leaders create high-performing and psychologically safe teams. If you want to upgrade your leadership, upskill your teams, or upskill your leadership, please reach out. You can get me at anton@theguineagroup.com.au. Please tune into our next episode. These podcast chats are amazing. The value and the information that you get will help you be more influential and help you be a better leader.